Star 99.9, it's Kevin Begley back at Little Pub for another acoustic session, and this time we have Wyn Starks. Wyn, thank you so much for doing this for us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I love your story. I'm fascinated by it. It's such an inspiration. And for people who aren't familiar, tell us a little bit about growing up around music yourself, and then from 2020 forward, it kind of became amazing for your career. So tell us a little bit about that.
So I grew up around music. My mom, she is a singer, but never really pursued it. But she always sang to me and my brothers and my twin brothers. So music was all around us, all genres, from gospel to Motown to R&B to pop to rock. And I'm an '80s boy, so I love it all.
Nice.
So I moved to Nashville about 8 years ago, and that's where it kind of just started to really move for me, the music. And then in 2024, I had the incredible honor of Celine Dion featuring one of my songs in her film, which was an incredible experience. And it still kind of just is surreal to me to have that, one of the people that I grew up listening to and studying as a vocalist, singing my song, and especially in such a vulnerable moment in the thing, it was really special.
How did that happen? Did she reach out to you? How did that connection happen?
Yeah, so her team actually reached out to my label.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what capacity it would even be in the documentary. I'm assuming, that, we're just going to be playing in the back, which I was super excited to just have her hear my song,
Right.
And, but little did I know that she would actually be singing the song and in such a impactful moment in the documentary.
Yeah.
It was just, nothing could have really prepared me for that moment. But so, she reached out and they were so gracious and just, again, they didn't talk a lot about what capacity it would be. And I'm glad. I'm kind of glad it was a surprise.
Yeah, because then you're able to see it play out. What an honor that is. Yeah.
I did have people hit me up before it, like, "Oh my God, your song is one of the highlights of the." I'm like, so the day before, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's in it."
Yeah.
Because I still was a little like, "Is it gonna make it?" Or you know what I mean? But
and then we've been playing "I Drove All Night" on Star. And was that something you did after the documentary came out?
I did,
yeah.
That was my tribute to Celine, because that's the first time I actually heard the song. And the amazing Cyndi Lauper made it famous, but the first time I actually heard it was Celine's version of it.
Yeah.
So then, and then I went and found Roy Orbison's rendition, who recorded it first. And then Billy Steinberg reached out to me, the writer of the song.
Oh, wow.
And he's incredible writer, has written so many songs. And so that was it just kind of was like an overnight, like it seemed overnight, but it was just an amazing, like, beautiful chaos that started to happen from that. So
that's so cool. And you've had some incredible live performances. So a lot of people know from your America's Got Talent AGT performance. Tell us about that, because the standing ovations, the tears, just being in front of the judges, Simon Cowell and the whole thing. What must have been going through your head?
So normally in a situation like that, I would be really nervous. That's why I never had a desire to do a competition show.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause just the nerves behind it, you're like, but I lost my brother in 2020, my twin brother, and I was kind of in a really dark place during that time. So when AGT actually reached out to me, and because the music was kind of making a buzz, and it was starting to move and catch on, and people were really resonating with it, and so I got to go straight to the judges, and I knew that I wanted to do that for my brother, because he would want me to do that. So I did it for him.
That's so great.
And so in the moment, it just felt, I felt ready. I felt equipped in that moment. Like, even seeing the judge who I grew up watching on TV, and they're right here in front of me. And and to see how they resonated, Sophia, and us being able to relate with her losing her brother as well, was a really special moment too. And it changed my life, and it was a really awesome moment. I did it for my brother.
It gives me chills when I was watching it and even talking about it now, and just seeing the crowd. They were all in tears, and
I get emotional talking about it too. Like,
my favorite part was when Simon Cowell goes, "Please be good," under his breath, like as you're about to start, and then they were just blown away. But some other cool things you did. So you sang at the Minnesota Vikings halftime, which you're from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I did, my
and then
hometown.
And a couple of and then a couple NBA games too. So
I did,
what is that like, singing in front of an arena or stadium?
That makes me emotional thinking about it too, because this is a dream I've had since I was young, and to see it kind of come into life in this way, I feel my brother around me in those moments. You know what I'm saying? And And so like those are just it's been incredible, like especially the Vikings, because that was one of our favorite teams growing up, our hometown team, and being able to do the halftime show for that was just a dream come true. It really was. And then also the Barclays. Oh my God, I've met some incredible people there, like Spike Lee through that,
and just to show your talent to people, at a game like that or an event is just a great thing to do. That's awesome.
It is, and then the national anthem is just you and your voice in that moment. So to hear, you can hear everything that's happening.
Right, because the Vikings game you did Who I Am, right?
I did Who I Am for Vikings.
Yeah. So the national anthem, that's a whole different ballgame.
That's right. Yeah.
Everyone says that's the hardest thing.
Yeah, it is. But now I'm kind of getting my groove doing it. It feels really,
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's brought you to here. So what's next? What are your plans going forward? Is it more live shows, albums? What you got coming up?
So I went on a tour after all of that had happened. I went on a tour, opened for this amazing group, Delta Ray.
Yeah.
And then I went on my own headlining tour as well, which is incredible. And that was just an incredible experience. So now I'm just kind of working on my album, doing dates here and there, because I want to really finish this album so that I can start, sharing this music and touring again. And so I really look forward to, and hopefully we'll be done. We're looking at the fall. At the latest, early next year for the album.
Nice, awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this for us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I know the
really
listeners are pumped.
it.
So we're gonna get out there. We're gonna perform. It's a acoustic session here at Little Pub in Fairfield, Star 89.9. And I was telling you before we started recording, you got to get some pizza here in Connecticut.
Oh, I definitely will. I'm a pizza lover. So
nice, awesome.
It's good to meet one. Too.
Yeah, absolutely. Wyn Starks, everybody.
Thank you.